A disaster began in our solar system. The sun, one of the main reasons for our existence, is deteriorating. It did not take long for scientists to notice that the rays coming from the sun were decreasing. NASA launched rockets to study this process, and it was discovered that there was a stream absorbing the sun's energy. This stream was named the Petrova line. Within this line, scientists found extremely powerful microorganisms they called astrophage. Later, it was discovered that this process was also occurring in other galaxies. However, this phenomenon was not being observed in one star system. To study the reason behind this, the planet Earth united and launched the Hail Mary project into space. The first 10 years, 2026, it has been 3 months since the Hail Mary spacecraft left for space. You are heading to work in the morning, coffee in your hand, headphones in your ears. On the news podcast, the host is still talking about the same topic. The Hail Mary mission, humanity's last hope. You press the button and turn it off. For 3 months, it has been nothing but this. You are tired of hearing it. Astrophage, a living organism consuming the sun. When it was discovered, governments tried to hide it. Scientists denied it. But numbers did not lie. The sun is fading, slowly, inevitably. And humanity found only one answer. 3 people, 1 ship, endless hope. Hail Mary. It is gone now. No longer visible in the sky, and no signal is coming from it anymore. It simply left. The first month was panic. Stock markets crashed. Oil prices doubled within a week, then fell to half their value. Because who would need oil in 30 years? Lines formed in front of banks, riots in Los Angeles, protests in Paris. In Mumbai, religious groups took to the streets saying, "The end of the world has come." But by the second month, people went back home. They ate breakfast. They took their children to school. Because the human mind cannot fully process information like this, life simply goes on. The Cold War between China and America came to a stop. They were no longer looking at each other, but at the sky. The European Union called an emergency session. Russia, India, Brazil, everyone sat at the same table. Stratcom, the Strategic Commission, was established. Officially, not a world government, but in practice, a world government. Social media exploded. Elon Musk wrote on X, "I said this years ago." Several Hollywood stars sold everything they owned and moved to islands. Some bloggers released videos claiming, "Astrophage is fake, it's a conspiracy." Millions of views. People wanted to believe, even if it was a lie. The dimming protocol was announced, an energy conservation plan. Streets became darker. Advertisements were turned off. Las Vegas fell silent. At first, people complained. Then they adapted. Then, it became normal. In schools, physics and biology became matters of life and death. Children study the cellular structure of astrophage. You sit and try to help them. You do not understand it, but they explain it to you. Generations are changing, and the new generation does not see this as a broken world, but simply as the world. In 2031, the first major crisis struck. Wheat production in Europe dropped by 30%. Sunlight is decreasing. Agricultural systems were not yet prepared for it. Signs of famine appeared in India. Stratcom announced an emergency food distribution program. The next 20 years. 2036. It has been 10 years since Hail Mary left. When you woke up this morning, your first thought was not about the ship. It was about breakfast. Which agro-tower products arrived today, whether there are potatoes or not? That is the biggest change. The sun's radiation has officially decreased by 6%. Scientists called it a limit that can still be managed, but agriculture could not manage it. Open fields are no longer producing enough crops. Less sunlight, unstable temperatures, irregular rainfall. Vertical farming, vegetables grown inside buildings under artificial light, is no longer a luxury, but a necessity. Every city has at least one gigantic agro-tower. The first time you showed your child a tomato, they asked, "Where does this grow?" If you say, "In a field," they are surprised. They have only seen fields in pictures. Meat is the new gold. Livestock farming requires energy and water, and both are scarce. Lab-grown meat became the primary food source starting in 2036. At first, people lost their appetite for it. Then they got used to it. Then restaurants started putting real beef on luxury menus. 1 kilogram, $1,000. The biggest change in politics is that Stratcom is no longer just an advisory body, it is real authority now. Elections still happen, but only for local matters. Global decisions, energy, food, water distribution, are in Stratcom's hands. Some call it a dictatorship, others call it a necessity. What do you call it? You do not really know. Because without Stratcom, the India-Pakistan water crisis of 2037 could have turned into a war. They intervened and stopped it. Maybe they are right. 2037, the dark summer. The sun's spectrum changed. Daylight looked different than before, whiter, colder. Wheat production in Europe dropped by half. Flooding in Bangladesh. 40 million people relocated, northward to Germany, Canada, and Russia. The migration crisis was 10 times greater than the one in 2015. But this time nobody could say, they should leave. We are all on the same ship now. And that is no longer a metaphor, it is reality. In 2038, China created an internal Stratcom, its own parallel control system alongside the global system. The West condemned it, and sanctions began, but China had already completed its agro-towers and energy infrastructure. The Cold War returned, colder this time, because both sides know there is no time for war. The world of celebrities changed. Massive concerts were canceled. They consumed too much energy. But music did not die. On the contrary, neighborhood concerts, held outdoors with lanterns, became popular. A music genre called dimming, low, deep, slow melodies, spread across the world.
Just stop your crying, it's a sign of the times. Welcome to the final show. I hope you're wearing your best clothes.
One interesting thing, during these years, birth rates increased. Scientists called it the Titanic effect. People who sensed disaster formed stronger connections with their loved ones. Family relationships became stronger, because the desire to survive a disaster created feelings of reliance and trust between people. In 2039, the first major war broke out. Brazil and Argentina clashed at the border over water resources. It lasted for 3 weeks. Stratcom intervened and stopped it. But this was the first, not the last.